Welcome back to Strata Games. This is Underused Commanders, and today we're talking about Tuya Bearclaw, though I'd prefer if her name were Mia. Tuya Bearclaw is a 2/2 human warrior for 1 red-green with, whenever Tuya Bearclaw attacks, it gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the greatest power among other creatures you control. This means Tuya can gain an obscene amount of power if we can find ways to cheat out creatures with massive bodies, and clearly, once we do that, we're going to want to try to kill our opponents with commander damage. So, what are some creatures that are, for lack of a better word, overpowered? Hunted Troll is excellent, as we can give the fairy tokens to one opponent and try to kill another. Nessian Boar makes sure Tuya gets through for damage at the low cost of giving our opponents some cards. Galta is, well, Galta. And here's a spicy little meatball. Wilderness Elemental is a 3-drop with power equal to the number of non-basics your opponents control. And since Jason never listens to me and runs more basics, Malignus has power and toughness that scales with your opponent's life, which is amazing. Ancient Stone Idol, Gigantosaurus, Kogla, Grothama All-Devouring, Primeval Protector, Wither Scale Worm, Gargos, Hydra Omnivore, Spectral Force, Blistering Firecat, Cosmic Larva, Inferno Hellion, Lupine Prototype, Thrasted, Traxos. There's no shortage of big creatures with downsides that don't matter when you transfer their power to Tuya. Now, once you've gotten her to be roughly the size of a barge, you want to make sure Tuya hits like one. We want to find ways to give her trample, so she can't be chump blocked, and haste, because she will be killed repeatedly. For trample, we can use things like Titanoth Rex, Aggressive Mammoth, Temur Battle Rage, Garruk's Uprising, which is also some nice card advantage, Thunderfoot Baloth, Brawn, Pathbreaker Ibex, and Berserk. And for haste, we can use Anger, Xenaghost God of Revels, Rhythm of the Wild, Fires of Yavimaya, Break Through the Line, and, of course, 2 pairs of boots. Notice that Tuya's ability triggers on each combat, which means that if we get extra combat phases in the same turn, she will just keep growing. We also want to prepare for the untimely demise of Tuya or the creatures powering her up. Fling effects can do wonders, giving you a cheap nuke when your creature was already going to die. When Tuya's dead, we will be sad, but we don't have to despair. Arnie Brokenbrow and Rubblebelt Rioters can fill that void in our hearts. Battlefield. Goreclaw and Elysian Caryatid are excellent wrap spells for this commander. Unleash Fury, Rush of Blood, and Neath double our creature's power, and Rishkar's expertise draws us ridiculous numbers of cards. Now that we have a good deck shape, we'll want to think about lands. We can make sure Tuya gets through for damage with any number of different options. Castle Garenbrig, Bonder's Enclave, Mosswarp Bridge, and Spinerock Knoll all work well with our big creatures. And don't forget Yavimaya if you're playing Gigantosaurus. Lastly, if you're running Morog, you want to include several fetch lands to trigger him as many times as possible. Remember that this video is in no way comprehensive. There are lots of good cards for this commander that I just didn't have time to mention. The goal is not to build a deck list for you, but to provide a framework to think about how you would build a Tuya deck. Get creative and make your own list. If you want a head start, you can head to EDH Rec to see what other people are playing, or Scryfall to find new cards. Just remember that with Tuya, you want to run lots of creatures, so if you have a choice between an effect on a spell or a similar effect on a creature, try to pick the creature. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and let us know in the comments which cards you would play in this deck.